Antia Boyd
and Boyd.
And we're the creators of the Magnetize The Man Summit. So really excited for you to jump right into the next interview because we have created this for you to stop attracting emotionally unavailable men, overcome your trust issue, and so much more. So you attract that right man for you that makes you feel seen, cherished, and supported.
Can't wait to see you inside the interview and get you on the path to magnetizing your man once and for all. See you there. Look forward to it.
Hello, I'm Antia Boyd, and welcome to the Magnetize the Man Summit, where single successful women unlock their attraction code and live their happily ever after. And speaking of happily ever after, it can't happen without vulnerability. So I brought you a very amazing expert here today, which is Allana Pratt. Allana, say hi.
It's great to be with you. And I think you have the sexiest accent to say vulnerability with your European accent. I love it. I love it. Yes, totally. Really happy to be with you. Happy to be your new neighbor. Happy to reconnect. Happy to be a contribution to everybody, because vulnerability and intimacy is often a very overlooked piece when we're looking for that special ideal partner. We always think of the outside in, and today we're going to be talking about the inside out.
Ooh, isn't that so sexy? I love your matching. You know, we're both in sort of like the darker greens, which again, I love that.
Yeah, thank you. I've got my Harley Davidson blingy.
All right, but I can't compete with that, you know. So we're not going to talk about Harley Davidson, ladies. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the show on the road. No pun intended. Okay, so relationship intimacy expert Allana Pratt inspires open-hearted, unapologetic living with delicious sass. Isn't that sweet? A featured weekly contributor on the Good Men Project, Thrive Global, and Thought Catalog, expert on CBS, TLC, Fox, Forbes, People Magazine, and Huffington Post. This cum laude graduate of Columbia University, is the author of 4 international books. Lisa Gibbons asked Allana to coach her during Dancing with the Stars, which of course we know who that is. And Allana hosts the sexy, empowering podcast, Intimate Conversations. And we'll actually have one of that today as well. To guests like Emmy Award-winning Alanis Morissette, Matthew Hussey, and Dr. Christiane Northrup. Over 2.7 million viewers on YouTube look to Allana when struggling to trust again after a harsh breakup, so they can create hot, healthy, thriving, intimate relationships. And with that, welcome, Allana.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's been quite a journey. It certainly didn't start out, I want to be a relationship intimacy expert. That wasn't the plan. But isn't it really true that we're here to teach what we're here to learn? And that's really a lot about my message of vulnerability, is that I didn't get here through perfection at all. I got here through falling down many a time, but I've learned a lot, and I'm going to share it with you today.
Yeah, so tell the listener a little bit about how did you get to all the success? Because everything, like you said, looks so glamorous, but it hasn't always been obviously that glamorous before. So what inspired you to become so passionate about what you do, about your work?
I had your basic, growing. I grew up in Canada. My dad was a pharmacist. My mom was a teacher, but my dad was drunk and stoned, and my mom was codependent, and I was afraid. I remember once when I was 5 years old dancing like a little Sufi dancer around the ottoman in the living room to Jesus Christ Superstar, the Broadway. And the next thing I know, there was a punch through the wall. My dad had told me to quiet down, but I didn't hear. And that was the rage that was in my house. And at such a young age, my hero no longer protected me. My full self-expression was dangerous. And I think I had a perma-Kegel ever since I was 5 years old. Like my vagina clenched, my heart clenched. Yeah. I was always 3 steps ahead. Got to be safe, got to be safe, got to be safe. Do it so you like me, so you'll hire me, so you won't hurt me. That was always running in the back of my central nervous system and in my mind. And so when divorce number 1 happened, and divorce number 2 happened and I was the only one in common, it was time to do some inner work to look at, why was I seeking so much approval? Why was I willing to be such a control freak and settle and not listen to my heart? And so through all of the inner work that I've done, I discovered that I had no connection with myself, my heart. I had no intimacy. Into me, I see. When I looked in, I didn't like what I saw. Just shut the fuck up and go in the closet and let everybody think we're a perfect person. Like that was my survival strategy. Yeah. And of course, it created unhealthy, inauthentic relationships that ended. One of them ended in a 12-year custody battle where I lost my house, my savings. I went into $250,000 of debt and I lost my son. Not fun. And so I've really been humbled and I've really done the inner work to ask, what is the gift in this? What is my responsibility in this? How is this for me? Even this, not against me, to truly come home to the divine within, a divine relationship with my body. No more beating myself up that I'm 48 and have stretch marks and what have you. No more looking to the man to save me or approve of me. No more even looking for my success to prove my worth. Like everything, safety, approval, home on the inside, no matter what the outside looks like. And when you reach this place, and it's not, it's what do they say? It's not easy, but it's simple. The path is simple, but getting through the path, not easy. So I've found the way. I fell down many a time. So I've made it very easy for you to learn from what I learned from. But basically, when you get home, there's nothing left to prove. You're completely present. You don't need to fix, control, justify anything. You are so connected with your radiance, your intelligence, creativity, lusciousness, deliciousness, discernment, awareness, don't fuck with me energy, while also being so safe, tender, open, and allowing to receive a great man claiming us, but not losing ourselves in that. All of these capacities are not found in reading one more book, as much as I like my books. They're found on the inside. They're found on the inside in every single one of us, no exception. And so it's so important if you want to attract a high-level individual, a high-level man, but you're unwilling to do your inner work, you're bullshitting yourself. It's not going to happen. And so when you're willing to, it might feel like taking 2 steps in to take 10 steps forward. If you're willing to do that inner work, face all of your shadows, transform them into your power, you'll experience an energy. People say I have like an energy, and and I've earned this. I've worked really hard. I always have coaches. I just signed up for another 1-year program with another coach. Like, I think it's out of integrity to work with a coach if they don't have a coach, because who sees their blind spots, right? Like, I can't see mine, but I can see yours. So I do the inner work so that I can be present for everything. You know, if you can allow everything and resist nothing, you're unstoppable. You're irresistible. You're sexy. They're like, what's the it factor? That woman, that man, that person has the it factor. It's because they're just like a Neo in the Matrix. Come, right? You just bring it, life. I'm not going to resist anything. And it's really sexy, but it's also really discerning because you're so internally connected, you can feel what's true for you. You're willing to slow down and listen. You're willing not to judge or resist. You're willing to sit in the fire and do the inner work because you've got this connection. You can sense the narcissists really fast and you don't marry them anymore like I did. You sense the ones that are just in it because you're eye candy and they don't really value the depth of you. And you also sense true resonance. And this is, I believe, the most efficient, smart way to find your ideal partner. The inside always creates the outside.
Especially how you describe it. I mean, who doesn't want to do the inside in the way you describe it? I mean, it's like so juicy and delicious. I mean, sign me up, right? And it's even like when you're like, just really got those cat energy, right? It's just really like, sensual energy, right? Like a cat is like such a sensual animal. And I love what we're talking about today. Vulnerability is really the new sexy, right? So, and let's talk more about that, because we hear so much from women all the time. Oh, I don't want to be taken advantage of, vulnerability is weakness. And, obviously I'm on top of it, because that's what the high-powered women that come to me tell me all the time. So what do you tell them, Allana? I'm so curious.
Well, first I want to acknowledge whatever abuse, betrayal, whatever abandonment, whatever they went through that made them misunderstand, but believe that vulnerability was weak. And it is true when we're younger women and we don't have the wisdom and the discernment and the inner connection to and we are vulnerable, or we put our barriers down, but we don't meet it with that kind of queen awareness. We meet it with more of a naive princess energy. When we meet life in our 20s without that wisdom, we do get taken advantage of. The mistake is to conclude from a shut down heart and an overspinning intellectual overachieving mind to conclude, oh, vulnerability is bad, won't ever do that again. You can do that, but you're going to have a closed heart and meet a man with a closed heart who's going to probably not treat you very well. And you're probably going to keep spinning in your head wondering what's wrong with you, which is so abusive, self-abuse, horrible self-talk, negative self-talk. And you're going to have low self-esteem and probably be on antidepressants just to get through the day. Okay. This is really common. It's really common. So we want to first just acknowledge, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry what you went through. You have every right to have shut your heart. You have every right to believe, even though it's a misunderstanding, that vulnerability is weak because you did get hurt. Now, what if there's another point of view? What if that, sort of like if you can imagine a cocoon, like in order to be a butterfly, you have to go through some squishy, dark, uncomfortable times. But then you're a butterfly. You don't just get born a butterfly, okay? So in order to be a goddess, a queen who attracts her king at that level, you got to earn your chops. You got to get through the cocoon. You have to get your heart broken. You've got to learn this inner work that I'm speaking of so you can be discerning. We're just not born this way. And so if you can start to have a different point of view of the past, a different point of view of the divorce, a different point of view of the betrayal, and you can take the lesson from it, see the advantage of it, see the gift in it, then you can forgive and let go of all that toxicity out of your body and also out of your energy field. I cannot tell you how many smart, successful women I see who are physically attractive, but their energy field is just spikes. And men feel it. I have been in a workshop. I've been asked not to say which one, but I've been in a workshop where I was voted the sexiest that they wanted to sleep with and the one they wanted to marry, which is a very unusual combination. Normally, it's just the sexiest. Okay, that's pretty easy, outside in. But the reason they wanted to marry me as well is they're like, her heart is open. I don't know how I can prove it, but I know if I lost my job and I came home, she wouldn't emasculate me. I feel safe with her. She would believe in me. She might not, she'd be fierce. She'd be like, out you go, get another job. I love you. I believe in you. But these men felt safe with me. So this is part of what we learn as we grow through difficulties and abuse and trauma. As women, we turn from princesses, often wounded, that was me, into queens who are discerning. So we realize that it's not that we're just like the vulnerable, splay yourself, take advantage of me. That's not vulnerable. Vulnerable, imagine like Lady of the Lake. She has a friggin' sword in her hand, okay? But it's not in front of her. Oh, are you going to hurt me? Are you going to hurt me? No. It's down by her side. She leads with her heart. The chick can walk on water. She lives with her heart. But you fuck with her, off with your head. Okay, so she can take care of herself. But she leads with love. And if we think we're going to attract love with a closed heart, we're loco. That's not how it works. It has to be an open heart. But where is your spine? Where is your discernment? Where is your self-worth? Where have you learned from the past? And where, even if all the discernment in the world, all the awareness in the world, all the learning the lessons in the world, what if you still fell down? Where's the part of you that loves yourself so much and won't judge yourself that you can get back up again, brush yourself off? And the only one who matters about your opinion about yourself is you, and you move forward. Where is she? Have you woken her up? Have you met her yet? This is the capacity. Because let me tell you, once you find Mr. Beloved, it's not just like a bed of roses, just so you know. There's actually going to be work. There's actually going to be triggers. There's actually going to be difficulties in a relationship. It's just another way of growing. We grow when we're single. We grow in relationship. There's no escaping growth. There's challenge and support. When you're single, there's challenge and support when you're in relationship. There's no magic pill or fantasy here. I just want to be super honest with you. So there's a capacity to communicate with yourself that you're going to need to communicate with a man. There's a vulnerability that's required to tell the truth to yourself. So he'll tell the truth to you and you'll tell the truth to him, and sit in the fire and not hit below the belt. This is all the internal skills that I teach are absolutely applicable to a long-term thriving relationship.
Oh, and it's so true what you say. It's so true what you say, Allana. Like I'm just eating it up. You know, it's like candy to me, what you're talking about. Because when I met Brody, I shared something really vulnerable. It really opened up the space, right, for him to then share something with me that he never shared with his ex-girlfriends, or like he wasn't that kind of guy, you know, but he was just like, oh, wow. I mean, this woman is like, you know, it's so safe to be so vulnerable. So I just absolutely agree with what you said. Totally. It's absolutely happening.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'm not saying go be vulnerable on the first date with everybody. Okay. We want to be discerning and aware, but we don't want to come from fear. Worst case scenario. Oh, the last guy did, so this guy will. All these conclusions. We really need to balance out our overvaluing of our mind. I mean, look, I'm a cum laude graduate of Columbia. I'm a smart chick. But when push comes to shove, I trust my intuition 100% of the time over my mind. This fucks with me. This tells the truth every time. But this I can't see. This I have to feel. This I have to cultivate and trust. But this no one can take away. And this has always steered me right. And when I didn't listen to it, that's when, shit hit the fan. Okay. So when you're vulnerable, you don't go, oh, he looks nice. Oh, maybe I'll just tell him all my deepest, darkest secrets, and then your bank account is drained. Okay. So it's not to be vulnerable with everybody. It's to get to know somebody. Feel in your body. So many of us live from our chin up. Okay. We don't know how to navigate intense emotions, stay in our prefrontal cortex, sit in the fire and be a motherfucking badass goddess. We don't know how to do that. It's a little uncomfortable. Stuff it down, put a happy face on, or be controlling, or do whatever we do, right? You have so much untapped power. Chin down. Okay. So to be able to feel body sensations, to be able to discern emotions and not go, oh, that's bad, but oh, hi emotion. Tell me more. Here's a tequila. Let's have a drink. Tell me more. Like to welcome. Oh my God, what a concept. Welcome intensity, welcome sadness, welcome shame. These are our shadows. It is a beautiful Debbie Ford, love her book that she published after she died. Isn't she like so magical? Wonderful lady. Had the blessing of interviewing her on my show. Shadow work. It is so important that we make friends with our untapped power. And a really great exercise you can do to find out where your shadows are that you haven't claimed yet, integrated, so you can be even more sexy, powerful, and tender as well. All the facets of femininity. Is to go, who makes you jealous? Who do you like to hate? Because she has a capacity awake that inside you is still dormant. So instead of going, bitch, go, thank you, sister. I have work to do. Put on a song, go home and put on a song that's in alignment with the energy that you're thinking, oh, I wish I was her, but I hate her, but I want to be her, but that. Put a song on, because it's not a thought. Oh my God, it's just not sprinkles on top of the ice cream cone of shit. It just isn't. It's not how it works. It's going deep. It's embodying it. It's feeling through your fears. It's having your own back as you jump off a cliff and discover a part of you that you've never known. And that's the vulnerability is the new sexy thing. When a woman's totally at peace in her skin, come what may, here's my cellulite, here's my divorce, here's my bestseller. Here's my kid. Here's my, what? No justification. Take it or leave it. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to try to prove I'm good enough. That is so sexy to a quality man.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and you're really talking about the yin and the yang. You're talking about having that balance between the feminine and the masculine. Like they have the achievements, but at the same time, they can also be vulnerable. They can also be raw and open, right? And just like being there and just like, this is me. Like this is the good, this is the bad, this is the ugly. And so I totally agree with what you share. And what would you say? Is really like one of the biggest things that you see with women that come to you around vulnerability, or like even like what kind of story you have, even better, where you have a success story where you had a woman who was really struggling with that, was almost like a rebel, I'm not gonna open my heart, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna let anybody in ever again. And then you turn it all around, and it was super amazing.
It's interesting because people don't come to me saying, I want to be more vulnerable. That's like saying, let's go sit in the fire and be really uncomfortable together. Shall we? I'll pay you. And I'm like, no, they never come to me for that. They come to me because they have a series of failed relationships with emotionally unavailable narcissists, married men, and they're willing to go, okay, the only one in common is me. What's up? Show me the way. And one of the issues that we talk about is vulnerability, intimacy, all of this kind of thing. We recognize their heart is closed, so they can't hear their intuition, which makes them spin doubly as fast, which messes them up doubly as fast as well. And they don't see the painful experiences coming, the men that aren't a fit. So success story, Lisa. So very successful doctor. Dad died when she was 13 or 15, super smart, overachiever, gorgeous, horrid ex-husband, single mom of 3, dating men, not that she's superior and better, but beneath her. She was smarter. She was more clever. She was more together. She had more money. She was just, so they didn't challenge her. She didn't have to let go of control. Okay. So that was sort of when she came to me. So through a series of very powerful cellular memory, deep inner processing, healed basically first from the death of her father, and opened the heart again, got her reconnected inside with what I call little you, this little one inside who every time she pipes up scared or afraid and we hit her with a 2x4 and stick her in the closet, let's bring her out. She's you. And she's actually running the show. She's the wounded one that's seeking attention, even though on the outside you're looking like you got it all together, right? So we need to heal her, heal that, navigating the intense emotions of being with a man of her vibration and all the vulnerability and, oh my God, emotion. She'd never felt emotions. She just kept thinking all the time. So the idea of an emotion coming up was like really intense for her. So learning how to stay in her prefrontal cortex, rewiring her central nervous system, practicing how to be an emotional woman and a new point of view. Oh, and how she became such a better parent. Oh, because she could be with her kids' discomfort and emotions and not just go, yeah, it's fine. Let's make dinner. She could go, oh, tell me more. I'm right here. But you can't be that for another if you can't do that for yourself, right? So her parenting skyrocketed. The ex didn't really bother her so much because she didn't need him to be different to be okay on the inside. We don't need external circumstances to be a certain way anymore, to be totally peaceful and powerful on the inside. So that went well. And then there was this reunion. And she was like, oh, there's this one guy, but he's shorter than me. But I don't know, I'm just really kind of excited to see him again. And so we talked about the real deal breakers of what we really need, a man that is a contribution to our mission and vision and purpose on the planet, who sees us, who's 2 steps ahead of us, making us feel more safe and more seen, who friggin' is yummy to us, right? And not the old version, like husband number 1, tall, dark, and handsome multimillionaire. Great, let's get married. Like, I didn't need anything else, right? So a totally different way of choosing a healthy partner long-term. They're engaged. Basically, they're getting married next July. It was love at first sight. They had not seen each other for 20 years since the reunion. He's shorter. He's like 2 inches shorter. She loves to wear heels. It's totally fine. He's like ripped and buff, like rugby dude. And he surprised her. They went to Argentina to go dance tango and came back. And it was just a regular dinner. And she thought, he didn't ask me like in Argentina, like on the perfect night. He wanted to be sly. And yeah, they're super happy. And she has all the skills, and we were just talking like last week, all the skills of sitting in the discomfort that she's done with herself. The seeing from a new point of view that her emotions and her vulnerability are actually what he loves about her. I kept telling her, she didn't really believe me, but that's what's made him to feel safer than any other woman, more devoted to her than any other woman, because no matter what happens, he's not going to be judged because she doesn't judge herself anymore. And my God, she was good at it. And so, yeah, I called on the speakerphone when I finally heard the news, and I'm like, oh my God, makes me just so happy. And she's like my age, she's 48. It's not a lost cause, ladies. Anything's possible. Yeah.
And I mean, look at that, right? She was a single mom, because I hear single moms all the time. Oh, it's done, it's over. And I have those 3 kids. And I love that you talked about that. It's her relationship changed to the kids, because I always tell my clients that too. I said, if you don't like your daughter, God, look inside. Like, what are you projecting, right? What are you suppressing? Totally. And they live that out. I really believe that our kids live out our shadows, actually. Like, so the more we embrace our shadows, the more they're going to transform. So I love that. It's so well-rounded. It's such a well-rounded impact in her life. Not only did she get the love of her life, and I'm sure the wedding of her life too, which we'll see, which I'm excited about. But also she got like her family back, she got the connections that she probably never had to her kids, and set her kids up on a different trajectory.
Yeah. The work I do, intimacy, like I like to be efficient. I like to go to the core. I don't like to do like improvement, or I call it sprinkles on top of the ice cream cone of shit. When you go all the way to the core and you actually have an intimate relationship with yourself and the divine and your body from the inside. It's not just one area of your life that improves. Physically, mentally, spiritually, vocationally, financially, socially, family, romantically. You get it all efficiently, because it's one core that goes everywhere, and it keeps return on investment. It just keeps getting better and better. And you become a leader and an inspiration by just who you're being, just by the energy and how good people feel around you. It's just because you feel so good. Even if you're uncomfortable, you still have your own back. There's nowhere to seek what you need to feel better. It's all in here. Yeah. It's a nice exhale when you finally get there.
I can really feel, and I can feel your passion for it. And I can really feel how you're really embodying what you're teaching. I mean, I've been like really reading your energy while you were talking. And it's so like phenomenal to really see how your energy matches what you talk about. And I think that's what makes a really amazing mentor. That really makes an expert in my eyes, who doesn't just have the intellectual knowledge, but who also has the energetic, the emotional that backs that up, right? And so I can only imagine what you teach the women, because being you, and having gotten from where you were to getting to this point, which was, I mean, just phenomenal, because you would have had any excuse to just stay small, just be like, you know what, I had an abusive dad, I'm just gonna, you know what I mean, I'm not gonna speak up. And here you are doing like an interview, like you're doing like the opposite of what your small you would have said in the beginning.
Thank you. It's taken an awful lot of 2 things, courage and humility. I could have been a bitter bitch. I could have stayed small. I could have blamed. And that would have kept me competitive with other women, and self-abuse. I'm not living my purpose, and neediness for my son's attention to compete with the dad, like all sorts of really fucked up behaviors. But I think something that happened to me when I was quite young really helped. My best friend died when I was 16. And it was my cat hadn't died. My grandma hadn't died. Nobody, like, people die. I mean, right. So, and it was a very important moment, Antia, where I was like, well, I would never know them and never feel this pain, or know them and learn how to navigate and keep going. And I was like, oh, I'm choosing that. And that became the exploration of heart. That's one of my book before the last book is Heart Splayed Wide Open. that's really what it takes. Like, how can we, because we can't, we'll disconnect ourselves from the divine. We'll disconnect ourselves from our divine intelligence. We'll disconnect ourselves from our intuition. We'll disconnect ourselves from the safety and the energy of the planet. We'll disconnect ourselves from everything that's going to make us feel really good, really supported, and really held if we shut our heart. But to open it is, and I know this from personal experience and from being with clients and taking them through trauma release processes and cellular memory rebooting and all that stuff. It feels like you're gonna die. It's terror, but it only lasts like 3 or 4 breaths. And I will say that, but I will say, yes, it does not feel fun. And people working with me, it's not for the faint of heart. I swear a lot. We have like way too much fun. We sit in fires. We like cry our face off. We do it, but then it's done. It's done. And I, in all humility, don't think I would have had the courage. I mean, I had the courage and the humility to show up and do the work, but I didn't do it alone. I had so many coaches and so many mentors along the way where I'm like, I don't know how to get through this. And I don't want to be a victim of it, but I don't know what else to do. And so I was willing to show up, willing to ask for help, willing to be humble, willing to go, okay, how am I going to pay for this? Okay, great. And ask not, oh, that's too expensive. Ask like, oh, so what would it take for me to be able to do this? Right? Like all the way I learned how to be a powerful woman, even going into $250,000 debt and losing my house. Okay, that sucked. But what did it teach me as a businesswoman? What did it teach me about honoring money and investing well and saving this? And like, I am so badass with money now, so honoring of money, so understanding of money. Like I actually know, like you can't give a little kid 3 ice cream scoops right out of the gate. They'll fall, right? You start them with 1 and they can balance 1, then give them 2 scoops, right? Like I earned the right for multiple millions. Not before. I just wanted money to save me so I didn't have to feel my pain. I just wanted a rich man to save me. I mean, in all honesty, I did. That wasn't like yes, let's get married so you'll save me. But in hindsight, that's what I did when I really told the truth about it. Okay. Yeah. So like who we become when we really do the work and grow from our difficult times, it's just so free to be yourself. It's delicious for no reason. You're sexy, whether you fart or have a bestseller. Like, I don't know, maybe not if you fart, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you don't have to be so special, super, super, super special. Like, who cares how many people are following you on Facebook? Like, who the fuck cares? Like, just be you. And that authenticity as a businesswoman, primo clients when you're authentic. And then dating, when you're authentic, like a lot of men, I'm in a wonderful relationship right now. I've never been happier. It's awesome. But a lot of men along the way, they were like, your heart is too big. I'm very uncomfortable around you. And I go, okay. So there's a lot of lonely years, a lot of not settling. Yeah. A lot of continuing to show up and it didn't go very well. So when you really are there for true love, don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle. If it's a desire in you, if it's a true authentic desire in you, not like a seeking approval, unhealthy, to try to be good enough kind of desire, but when it's truly from your heart, he's out there. It's not a matter of if he's out there. He's out there, done, end of story. The question becomes, what do I need to do to close the gap? Right. And to not judge and compare yourself to women who found him in their 20s or 30s. Yeah. Everybody's journey is different. Some people have health issues, money issues, relationship issues. We've all got our thing that we're here to learn. Please don't judge yourself if it took you a little longer, because I've never been happier. I have the most incredible man. Like, I just want to cry. The relationship I have with myself, finally, is mirrored in him. He's so good to me. And I've had some real fuckheads, like ex-husbands that were not nice to me at all, that were joyful in my demise, that took joy in my pain. It was not a fun journey, but holy shit, I'm so grateful because he's so good to me. Just naturally. He's just like a nice guy. And I'm so, so grateful. Do the work. Do the work. Find your strength, find your humility, find your courage, and do not give up 5 minutes before the miracle, because he is out there and you deserve him.
Oh, yeah. I really feel your heart going out to all those women who might not be able to feel their heart right now. So thank you, just really opening up and helping those women to just really reflect what's inside of them, because that's how they feel like. They feel like crying and they feel like, I want to open my heart. I'm yearning for myself. I'm yearning for my own connection to myself. Because that's one thing I learned when I reconnected back to myself, was I cried because I realized how much I missed myself.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Do you resonate with that?
Yes. Well, when we go inside, we meet, well, I have like probably 20 little Allanas on the inside, all little motley crew in there. But like little Allana who's 5, who needs me, who was scared when she was dancing, the little Sufi dancer, right? There's the Allana who went through divorce number 1, who feels kind of ashamed that she just wanted to be saved. You know, she needs my attention. The one who married because her mom was dying and she wanted a kid. So she married, husband number 2, just so that she could replace the relationship and didn't have to feel her heart. That was me too. So gotta love her. The one who had got $1 million house and $250,000 in savings and lost it all and then went into $250,000 debt. She needs some loving too. The body, our relationship with our body. I mean, I danced at Cheetah's for my 47th birthday on amateur night with all my clothes on, all my underwear on. And I pole danced because I'm just like, fuck this concern about my cellulite. I'm done. Bodies are beautiful. Any age, any gender, any gender, but like any culture, some of us are more voluptuous. Some of us are more, sticks. We're all, well, it's not even we're all beautiful. We are all beauty herself. And that's another relationship to have with yourself, your sweet body. How in the world are you going to have freedom having sex if you're like, ooh, don't show him this, or don't get a little too crazy there. Like the freedom to be you goes everywhere, even into the bedroom. So, yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about that next time, ladies. But in the meanwhile, if you're like, gosh, I want a piece of that pie, girlfriend, okay, what can I do to get in contact with Allana and just enter this world of magic and possibility? And, so tell them, what do you got for them, Allana? How can they?
Thank you. I was like, well, we should all get in the hot tub, open up the tequila, let's all party.
We have 2 hot tubs, so we'll have plenty of space.
Yeah. Antia is now a neighbor of mine, so that's why I was saying that I can totally visualize everybody together. Okay, so I have, we've been alluding to this idea that vulnerability is the new sexy. So I've created a 7-part complimentary training. Vulnerability is the new sexy. allanapratt.com/vulnerability. And it's a series of emails and exercises to take you where you are, a little deeper, a little more open, shifting your mindset, healing maybe a little bit in your heart, learning to trust me, and welcome you to my world. And there's a lot when you're in my world. There's podcasts, there's my YouTube channel, there's my newsletters. There's just a lot of ways that I give absolutely free to love you and nourish you. And should you ever decide the next level, that's where you can reach me as well for a discounted strategy session if this mentorship sisterhood journey is resonating with you. But let's just start at the beginning with that complimentary training.
Awesome. Well, where do they go to grab that?
Oh, allanapratt.com/vulnerability. allanapratt.com is my website, and /vulnerability. That'll give you the whole training for free.
Perfect. Awesome. We'll also, of course, have that link below. But for those of you who can't wait to even look below, like there's right away, just want to write it down, I mean, I would be one of them if I was single. I mean, gosh, I wish I would have known you when I was single, really, like I would have gone differently for sure. Because it's something, it's not just about the content. It's also about the energy, about really finding someone you resonate with, and really someone who's like, well, show me what it means to be vulnerable. Don't tell me about it, right? And you really showed that today. And that's what I think, like, so many women just really feel like, thank you, Allana, for reminding us for who we really are, like who we are on the core, at our soul level, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing you've ever done to be ashamed of. Yeah, you fell on your face. Okay, fine. But you're not wrong. You've never done anything wrong. You've always done your best. And everything that's happened is for you, not against you. And it would be such a pleasure of mine to show you those gems, integrate those gems, get your heart open and sparkling again with the discernment of feeling safe and aware. Because, I met my boyfriend in the driveway. I mean, I've been on online dating. I've done matchmaking. I've done the whole thing, right? I met him in the driveway. When you're really ready, the universe is kind of tricky and cute on how they'll bring your partner. Okay. Totally. He's out there.
Oh, yeah. I know. You're just, I can really feel that, like you're beaming that out. And what's like one last nugget, one little takeaway that for the women that are just like hanging on every word of your lip?
Thank you. I don't know if there, but thank you. Intimacy, into me, I see. Start to just ponder what that is. You could do a whole ritual around it and sit in front of the mirror by candlelight and start to look in your own eyes. That might be a little weird for you. High level practice I give some of my high level clients is self-pleasure while looking at your eyes in the mirror. See if you can stay in contact with yourself all the way through to orgasm. That's pretty crazy. But again, it's this, can I be with my darkness? Can I be with my sexuality? Can I be with my fear? Can I be with my shame? Can I be with my magnificence? And can I keep eye contact with myself? Can I stay with me, intimately with me? And just, you don't have to like it, but can I at least be an allowance? Wow, this is me too. There's so many parts of you that if you would stop resisting or ignoring and they could all come to the light, your radiance will just be fucking off the charts because you're holding nothing back. To me, true consciousness is allowance of everything, resistance of nothing. So if you can be the embodiment of that, look out, girl. You can have whatever you desire to create for the upliftment of humanity and a relationship on the side too, as well.
A little whipped cream on top, you know?
Like, a little whipped cream on top, yeah, that's right.
Not the whole cake, but it's a whipped cream on top, you know? It's a cherry on top. Yeah. It's been so delightful to have you, Allana. Thank you so much for being on here and sharing your, incredible wisdom with us, and not just your wisdom, but really your heart. Like, this is what really felt today. Was really your heart, your soul, and the emotional range, like that you brought, and reminded us that we all have that inside of ourselves. So thank you.
We do. Thank you so much. Such a pleasure and honor. All my love to you and to everyone. Mwah.
Mwah. And for the ladies, I'll talk to you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Was that absolutely delicious? We just love how every single expert has those juicy pieces of wisdom for you to enjoy. Look, if you want to own the entire Magnetize the Man series, we invite you to get our Magnetize the Man VIP All Access package. Not only will you own the entire video series, but also you will get our Magnetize the Man Masterclass that teaches you the 3-step formula, step by step, on how to attract the right man for you. You also get some other juicy secret trainings and a one-on-one call with me where we personalize your individual journey to attract that right man for you as soon as possible. So look, to get that, click the link below that says get access now, and you get it all. Own the entire series, including all the juicy bonuses, well worth over $1,400 for nearly the fraction of the cost. All right, we will see you in the next interview.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.
Mwah.